And a very good morning from the UK. Two tired people on your screens today. I'm basically up all night doing the cricket. You were blogging till the late hours doing the golf yesterday, DT. But it was an enjoyable first round, wasn't it, at Pinehurst? And for once, Scotty Scheffler showed that he was human, and Rory McIlroy had a good first round in a major. Oh, hang on. Start again. Go.
That's right, James. Scheffler was just out of whack, wasn't he? Hardly at any fairways. He was just sort of average. All parts of his game just looked like, And yeah, I don't know. He probably did quite well to shoot what he did, one over. So could have been a lot worse. I think in different hands, that would have got away from him. We saw some players like Hovland just absolutely go to pieces. So Scheffler sort of got out of it, all right, but he's up against it now. Well, we did say, didn't we, on the pre-tournament podcast, if you're going to back him, why not wait? Why not wait to see? Because we didn't think he'd have a great first round. We thought, not as bad as it was, but we thought we'll just wait. The question is now, is he playing well enough to justify a punt at this stage? I mean, what's the best? Have you got the odds? What have you got? Best odds?
I mean, he's second in the market still. I mean, I said yesterday, if you left him, then he's not going to go out too much. He's gone out, obviously, because he's fallen back a bit. But Rory McIlroy, in fact, I'll put him across the bottom of the screen, shall I? Rory McIlroy is favourite, 13-5. Scotty, 13-2. So, yeah, I mean, you could see him roaring back, can't you? I mean, I would imagine he's gone straight to the practice round yesterday and banged a few drivers. It was his driver that was letting him down, wasn't it? And if he gets that right in the second round, then he's obviously a very good player.
Yeah, I think it was him having his haircut. He had a terrible haircut. Did you see it? It's far too short. I don't know what that's just like. I don't get it that short. If you're going to have a haircut, have it kind of a few weeks so it can bed in. But
he was quite hairy in the last one, wasn't he? Beard and everything. And now he's gone the completely opposite.
Yeah, it's the old Samson thing, isn't it? Sean of his powers now he's had his hair cut. Although I think Samson had his eyes gouged out, so I don't think that's going to happen to him as well.
Well, I hope not.
No, that would be bad, wouldn't it? But yeah, I mean, if you were to say now who's going to win, I would say Rory, but I don't know at that price. It's almost like I don't need to back him at that price. I'd just be thrilled anyway.
He looked very impressive yesterday. Yeah. You know what I said yesterday? I mean, maybe he was watching the Late Tea Time podcast because I said, just concentrate on your golf. Just get on with it. And he did, didn't he? He just looked as if he was enjoying himself, just trogged around, played good golf and came off with 5 under joint lead.
Yeah, I saw him interviewed afterwards and he was just saying, didn't do anything spectacular. It was just a question of keeping the bogeys off the card. He just said if it was a good controlled round of golf, and it was exactly that. There didn't seem to be any drama when you went to Rory in the in the coverage. It's like, well, he's just doing his thing and he's picking up birdies every so often. Whereas the others, they're behind a tree or what's the... There was always a bit of drama, but with Rory, he just sort of coasted through it. It's almost like they swapped bodies. It's like Scheffler became Rory and Rory became Scheffler.
Well, they did make that comparison on the coverage that when they were drawn together in the Masters, maybe Rory was a little bit intimidated to put off because Scotty got off to a flying start, and it was reversed yesterday. And we've said before on here, or I have, the kind of frustration with Rory sometimes is he flits from brilliant to poor, whereas yesterday he was just very good all the way through, wasn't he?
Yeah, what in a US Open you don't want this, do you? You don't want great highs and lows. You just want to be on the level kind of thing. He did that really well yesterday.
Just moving on to Bryson, you kind of discounted him yesterday because you said he's a showman. I nearly came back at you in yesterday's podcast to kind of argue that, and I wish I had done now because he is a showman and he likes all of that razzmatazz and the big punches and everything. But I always think of him as a bit of a thinking man's golfer as well. All of that kind of the scientist and plotting his way around and taking on the challenge. I actually think that course might suit him. The kind of the challenge of working out how to do it.
Yeah, it's a fair counter argument to him. I played a lot better than I thought yesterday. So yeah, you can't rule him out. He's in a great position. I suppose when you're looking at bets now, what we're going to do today, we're going to have just some in-running outright bets. You've got to go back to history and you've got to look at what happens because you can sort of look at a day like yesterday and think, well, so-and-so's not that far back, it's not too far. But if you just look at history, if history guides us, and it should, if you go back to 1999 when Payne Stewart won here, to see where the winners were after round one in US Opens, and it's pretty bad news if you're in the chasing pack. So since 1999, there's been no one worse than 6 shots off the pace. Now that puts Scotty Scheffler right on the edge of that. He's 6 back now. So anyone at +2 or more now, history says no chance. And then the other one is, on the leaderboard, there's only one player who was outside the top 23 after 18 holes who went on to win since 1999. So history says you've got to be up with the pace. And what I think as well, today at Pinehurst, I think there's a feeling yesterday that the USGA kind of set it up to let it yield a little bit. They kind of said, well, we'll give you this one, but now after that, now you're going to have to take it at its most brutal. So it's like yesterday was the day to make a good score. Now it's kind of hanging in there. So you can't make up all that ground. Even
if they kept it the same, I was about to say to you, I don't see 16 under, 17 under winning this regardless. And if they make it a little bit tougher, if they make it a little bit tougher, that you might struggle to win it on 8 under or something.
Well, I think you could be way down, way below that. I think, I think he'll do well to win it at 5 under. Really, if they don't, if they really want to test you, they're so good at manipulating what they want the score to be that you are in trouble. So the one I can remember that was really tough was Shinnecock when it was won with +1.
Yeah,
and the guy
you mentioned yesterday that Pinehurst, there was some. It's a challenging course and the greens are fast, and there was a few approaches yesterday that only landed kind of 8 foot from the pin, but ended up rolling off and being 50 yards from the pin in the end. You've got to get it right, haven't you? And that strategy of plotting your way around and working out where the best place to attack and where the best place to just kind of make sure you're on the green and just roll it in and take your par. And be patient. It's one of those courses, isn't it?
You've got to hit a certain part of the green. If you just hit the green normally, you think, well, that's good. What a good shot. But you can land it, as you say, really close. If it's off a slope, you're just bounding off. So
there's one that Hideki played yesterday. It landed about 6 foot from the pin. You thought that's a great shot, and it ended up going miles past.
Yeah.
So he just caught the downslope and he was away.
So it's a real test of your mental sort of strength as well, isn't it? Because you've got to cope with that, thinking, well, that's not fair. I've hit a good shot there. So back to where were they after 18 holes? The one player who was worse than tied 23rd was Brooks Koepka at Shinnecock. So he had a funny round yesterday. He looked to be, here we go again. Brooks Koepka in the US Open. He's 3 under, he's leading. What's he going to do? He's going to set the pace. And then he fell away at the end. I think he had the hump a bit because he didn't speak to any press. I saw a story that I think he texted one member of the press just to say, well, there's no point. You all ask the same boring questions, so what's the point? So I
think he's a bit chippy, isn't he?
He's chippy, but I think he likes to sort of set himself up like that to kind of be, well, they don't care, I'll show them. So I think from here, he's still someone who can still just grind it away. So I think as an each-way bet from here, he's even par. He's one of the ones I want to put up, Brooks Koepka. So what have you got, 20...
he's just gone across the bottom. Let's find him. Brooks Koepka is currently priced at best price of 30 to 1.
Okay, so that's good. That's 4 places, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. I know I can see why, because he's 5 behind Rory, quite a bit behind DeChambeau and some other Cantlay as well, 5 behind Cantlay. But I think the setting up of this course even harder. I think that's set up for him just to grind his way through it. He'll know that there's no need to panic. He doesn't need to go out and shoot a daft 65. He might shoot 69 or something today, and that'll be just fine. So I like him.
If he takes 2 shots on average per round from here on off Rory, he's going to get past him. Isn't
he? And that's how he'll see it. It's that slow and steady wins the race. He won't need to try and get it all back in one go. So I do like that Shinnecock US Open as a kind of guide to who could grind away here. So I'm going to put up, it's quite a few, but we didn't have that many pre-tournament. I'm going to put up 3 each way bets today.
Okay,
so one
before you do that, TT,
do the advert, yes.
Let's say thank you to switchwatersupplier.com for their support of the Late Tea Time podcast. Very much appreciated. If you want to save money on your business water bills, this is how you do it.
All golfers want to stay away from the water. That splash as your round sinks beneath the surface is never a good sound. But golf courses rely on water to keep those fairways and greens lush. For that post-round shower or the clean glass at the 19th hole. Golf courses, indeed most businesses, spend way too much money on their water bills. Switch Water Supplier can cut your water costs and help your business save money. Register now at switchwatersupplier.com. They will do all the hard work and get your business the very best price for your water supply and claim money back if you've been overcharged. Switchwatersupplier.com. Switching made simple.
Thank you very much indeed to switchwatersupplier.com for their support of the Late Tea Time podcast. And by the way, as well, just before we get on to DT's picks for the round 2, many congratulations to our colleagues at Sports Broadcast Media. This is a sports broadcast media production, won a major award last night down in London. So congratulations to everybody that works for Sports Broadcast Media. It's nice to get an award, isn't it, DT?
It was, yeah, very nice, yeah. Well done, everybody.
Anyway, back to you. Anyway, you were burning with desire to give me your best bets for round 2.
Yeah, so I think that Shinnecock US Open is a good guide for in terms of the grind that you need. So obviously Brooks Koepka did win there, so we like him as an each way bet from here. So good in US Opens that I think he can still play quite a big part in all this. And then 2 other players who are hovering, I would say hovering is a decent way to describe them, who are decent each way prices. Tyrrell Hatton, you mentioned him, didn't you? Did you say you actually put the bet on?
Yes, I said yesterday that I've put a bet on my 2 mates, Colin and Victor. And then at the last minute, just before it all got underway, I kind of suddenly had this urge to put a bet on Tyrrell Hatton as well. So I've got an each way bet on Tyrrell at decent price. Can't remember what odds I got now, but it was a decent enough price. If he gets in the top 8, I'm happy, and if he wins it, then I'm deliriously happy.
Yeah, I'm on him. I'm on Hatton at 50-1 pre-tournament. So
I'll find out what price I got. You tell me why you're picking him.
Yeah, pre-tournament, I did this trends article, and he came out top in a lot of those. He just seemed a good fit for this week, and again, I did hark back to he did play. People just think he's a hothead who'll go absolutely mad as soon as he gets a bad bounce. But you need to give him more credit than that. He's more resilient than you think. So at Shinnecock, he finished tied 6th. So I do like Hatton and I do like Tommy Fleetwood. And amazingly, coincidentally, maybe is a better word, in the first round at Shinnecock, they all shot Koepka, Hatton and Fleetwood all shot 75 on day 1. So they all had a bit of a sticky start. I mean, it was really tough conditions, but they all had this rather, that's probably them out of it. But they all hung in there. So in the end, Koepka won it. Tommy Fleetwood was runner-up after a brilliant 63 in the final round. And Hatton finished tied 6th. So in that real grind of a US Open where they didn't get the best start, all 3 of those showed that they've got it in them to dig deep and just sort of work their way through the field. So I like their prices because of Rory being up there. You've got nice prices on some of those a bit further back, and they're still within that kind of historical boundary where you need to be. I think if they were at +2, I'm not even looking at them. But because Hatton is -2, Fleetwood's even par, as is Koepka, they're still, there's near enough that they can. Well, who knows? They can certainly get a place, but you can't rule them out winning from here. I mean, Rory hasn't won one for 10 years. Cantlay's never won one.
I was going to ask you that about Rory, because that will be in his mind if he's in position in that final round. There's going to be a little bit of extra pressure on him, isn't there, to kind of get that monkey off his back?
Well, how many times between now and then is he going to be reminded of that? So even though he's in a good place mentally, we talked about this, didn't we, with his divorce, calling off his divorce. Was that the X factor? Even though he's in a great place, he's still got that reminder that is this your week, Rory? So we'll have to say. I kind of think it is. If you told me now, here's a free bet, you've got to put it on one player, I'm putting it on Rory. But as we're looking for each way value and stuff like that, that's why I'm looking elsewhere.
Maybe his wife was knowing that he was going to pick up a big check this week, and she's waited to next week for the divorce papers to go through. Anyway, that's just me. That's just the way my mind. I got 60-1 on Tyrrell Hatton, the same as you.
You got 60-1.
60-1.
Okay, very good.
What do you say?
I think I got 50s a few weeks ago, but I think he did drift to 66s.
Yeah, I got 60-1 yesterday. So, if he comes in, I'm very happy. So go on, Tyrrell. Go on, Tyrrell, lad. Anyway, anything else for me today, or for our viewers and listeners?
Yeah, we'll get onto the kind of 2 balls and stuff like that on the weekend. I always find 2 balls easier than 3 balls to try and solve that equation. It's just simply you've only got to beat one other player rather than 2. So we'll stick with these outrights for now, and hopefully we can get one of them into an each way position or even win it.
You can see on the screen there for anybody listening, our Twitter feed is @LateTeaTimePod. So if you'd like to get in touch with us or follow us on that, it'd be nice to have you along. Please always gamble responsibly, everybody around the world. And this has been a Sports Broadcast Media production, an award-winning production for Sports Broadcast Media. So congratulations again to everybody involved with SBM. Late Tea Time Podders, we will be back tomorrow. It'll be a bit later tomorrow because I'm up all night doing cricket. So I think we're going to do it nearer like 11 or 12 or something in the morning tomorrow, aren't we?
That's right. Yeah.
So we will be back with you ahead of round 3 for our picks. So come on, Tyrrell. Come on, Rory. Come on, everybody. And let's have another good day's golf. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.
Always gamble responsibly. Visit begambleaware.org for more information.